A lot of talents watching the show.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, why do I need a talent manager? What do you tell them?
Money is a tool which helps you to achieve certain things, but money is not everything.
I started off my first business when I was 12 years old.
I've been coming for Sigma for more than 10 years.
I believe so. What are the top 3 criteria that you look for to invest? What are they?
Whether you're religious or not, I think it's important to have guidelines for how you live your life. And I think the first hour of your day is so important.
But if you really want to be successful in life, you clearly need to know that you want to be successful. In no matter what industry, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, you just need to know you're going to be successful and you're willing to do any and everything to be successful.
To make it
For
happen.
sure. 80% of life is psychological, 20% is the mechanics.
Do develop personal skills, do develop personal branding, network, don't be shy, and join the community.
Hey Alphas, here we are in the Alpha Talk show. We are part of AIBC Eurasia 2025 Dubai. We're going to be interviewing great people, entrepreneurs, business owners, game changers. So I wanted to stay tuned because this special episode in collaboration with AIBC Eurasia 2025 Dubai will be a game changer. So don't miss it. Lots of interviews coming and lots of experience and lot of knowledge to you. Be an Alpha. Welcome Timur. It's a pleasure to have you on the Alpha Talks show.
Thank you,
And
brother.
always good to see you, brother.
Likewise.
How
Thank
are you today?
Very good, very excited. The
Tell
AIBC.
me, what
Yeah.
brings you to AIBC?
Well, the first thing that AIBC is quite, it's like a friends beyond UAE, right? So
course.
Iman is a good friend since 2017.
Wow.
And I've been looking of the development of AIBC, but my main focus is basically to find unique solutions, tech companies who are either trying to relocate to this market or they need a strategic partnership here, because that's what we do.
Timur, in a nutshell, if in a couple of sentences for our audience, what do you do?
Well, I'm a traditional investor, an entrepreneur, so we invest in something very boring, like
Businesses, boring businesses.
nurseries, schools, clinics, a little bit of development into construction, but obviously I personally believe that any company, any field, if you don't add technology, if you don't follow the technology, the company won't exist.
Absolutely.
So regardless of the field. So that's why I think the AIBC, as of today, is one of the largest a hub to find those companies, to find those solutions.
What attracted you today in the event or the summit? What's
the
main thing
Alpha Talks.
Oh,
That's why I'm here. But yeah, to be honest, the lineup of speakers, 100%. So I always believe that the success of the event, the summit, the gathering, comes from 3 verticals. Is the speakers, because people come for people, is the companies who are attending, and the quality of crowd.
Oh, of course.
When it comes to something big like this, I understand that it's difficult to control the crowd and it's difficult to verify the crowd. But because it's chargeable, because you and I have been in Dubai, there are so many plenty free events, free invitations.
So you get a strange crowd.
So you get those, but at least the small filter is there. There is a dedicated crowd, speakers, ticketing. That's why today I believe that lineup of speakers and companies, that what brought my attention.
Amazing, true. If I talk about AI, Timur, where do you see AI in 2030? Like, where are we going? It's developing so fast.
It is indeed, and the first thing what I want to say about AI, and to anyone who's going to watch it, what is important is to start onboarding it. You need to find a solution which fits your company, your requirements, whether it's optimization of the processes, CRM, maybe online AI agents, because it's a trend. For investors, you need to be cautious because now, unlike in 2017, everyone was trying to add a small slide that, it's a Web3. Traditional business, suddenly Web3 without explanation. Same thing today. People add Web3 or the AI without understanding
What is it?
What is it? We all know ChatGPT. We all know DeepSeek. We do use within a company on a smaller scale. But if we say 2030, luckily for us, we live in a country where the leaders are visionaries, and they are onboarding it and been developing internally so many AI and tech solutions, and something they don't develop, they will bring it from outside.
Absolutely. Is there anything that makes you fear AI?
To be honest, not at all. The fear is there that it's developing so fast, so you need to either have a team who is seeing things the same way, or you have to be surrounded by people, visionaries, because sometimes you feel that you are too slow. It's like trying to go behind AI and there's new things coming up. So, and because of the amount of media there, throwing different programs there, and the fear is that it's just difficult to filter.
A lot of tools available.
Exactly. Difficult to be on the line with the development, because we're not a tech company. It comes to us, we're a traditional business. So we're not tech companies. We're not really strong in tech, but we are hunting for talents, hunting for companies who can bring exclusive solutions.
Do you believe that down the line, that now we control AI in a way?
Yeah.
Like we lead the AI.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there's going to be a switch that AI or robots will lead human race?
It's very controversial, because we all watch Terminator, 1, 2, 3, Matrix. I do believe that to a certain extent AI can definitely replace certain, not humans, but certain professions where there will be more, like where emotions are not attached. You know, there are certain positions in the company where you can't really lead by emotions. You have to be called. That's where you need AI. But on the other hand, I believe that it will be a combination of humans working with AI, because what AI needs is a data.
Of course.
I know as of today, with the quantum computing, with the supercomputers existing in the world, AI has access to unlimited source of data. So it can just operate faster than humans, because we can't keep up with what is happening with AI. But I believe that the certain engineering, certain human touch will be required.
Of course.
So I don't think that AI will completely take over the human race. So we're not expecting the apocalypse. But I just believe that those who would be able to adapt the technology within their sectors, businesses, lifestyle, would benefit 100%.
If I ask you that you have a button in your control that can allow you to shut down AI from the whole world, would you do it or not?
Never. I believe in development of technology. I believe that that's where we're going to. I also believe that we are going through circles. So the human race have developed so many things fast from ancient times, in the Stone Age, up to the way where we start developing planes, military stuff. And then suddenly we have stopped for some time due to pandemics, due to other catastrophes. So I believe now is the time to develop more.
If I go back to your line of business and being an investor, what are the top 3 criteria that you look for to invest? What are they?
So for us personally, the most important thing that the idea should be very clear. Like sometimes the founder is not the best person to pitch.
True.
Because he sees his project like around the globe. He is a visionary, so he can convince investors. I believe that it's better to have a solution and then have a roadmap of development rather than dumping on the investor all the possibilities of the project. Then second, what we look at where the founder is super excited and he's not raising to exit. He's raising to expand, because we've seen sometimes projects who come to us to fundraise, and the first thing we ask, he wants to exit. So he is starting to think how to exit from this business, which is fine. Yeah, you do business to exit, but it's not the company for us. We want the founder to be there with us. So the other thing is the numbers. The numbers should be clear. Because sometimes
a lot of founders are on a creative space.
Yeah,
Numbers
exactly.
for them is nothing.
numbers. They evaluate their companies based on nothing. They haven't made a single dollar, but somebody told them that, oh, this solution worth $25 million, 1 billion because of we have 7 billion people population, 1% will be using this solution. So it's not the valuation. So that's, I think, main criteria is the founder himself, the team, the clear solution, and sometimes as well, especially, they don't adopt their solution for this region.
Of course,
We live in a
correct.
very specific region.
With the culture.
Exactly. So
differences,
they
absolutely.
don't know the culture. They come with the solution to the problem which doesn't exist here. So that's
Timur, your journey is amazing. You started from nothing.
yeah, as a lifeguard.
Absolutely. Very inspiring story.
Thank you very much.
But to share with the audience,
Yeah.
what are the, I would say, the success
Yeah.
habits that you have or
Yeah.
attributes
Yeah.
that made you Timur now?
Yeah. The first thing, I believe in discipline, and I'm adopting some good habits and replace bad habits with good habits. Patience, especially patience to failure, because I believe that there is no success without failure, and patience in the sense that it's not always dark. There is a light at the end of the
end,
tunnel,
if you
right?
keep going.
Exactly. If you keep going, and it's fine if you don't have a clear picture yet. Sometimes people so stuck on having a mission and try to clarify their mission, and they're afraid that if this mission is changing, that they are not achieving.
True.
So I believe that the life is given, so you mold whatever you want out of it. The mission important, vision is important, but you need to have your own guiding principles.
Absolutely.
Like it can be something religious, not religious,
Values, ethics.
values, whatever you call it, whatever made you who you are today. So the good habits, the discipline, not afraid to fail, and obviously money is a tool which helps you to achieve certain things, but money is not everything.
True.
I'm happy to be financially free and have an ability to invest and raise my family here, thanks to the country and abilities they give me. But I believe that it wasn't everything what I wanted.
True.
So
If I ask you now, like since we are in AIBC, and if I ask you to describe AIBC in one word, what will be that?
I wanted to say Iman Police.
But that's true.
Yeah, but I would say that it's two words. It's an international hub, because I believe that AIBC. I know that AIBC is happening in different
Yeah,
regions,
true.
but I think that AIBC became Dubai,
True.
right? So when it comes to Web3, when it comes to international approach, because 60 to 70% people here, they don't even reside here.
Yeah, true.
So they came from outside.
to visit.
So,
True.
and that's what happens with Dubai. So Dubai brings international talents, companies to be here, regardless of the regulation, by the
course,
way,
of
right?
course, of
So
course.
in one word, I would say that it's
hub.
an international hub, and I won't even call it Web3. I just believe that it's a technology-oriented international
Platform.
hub. Yeah, platform.
What will be the last message you want to give our audience today for the Alpha Talks
Yeah.
and AIBC as well?
I'll put it this way. So exactly this type of interviews and podcasts are today's driver of success, because I believe in developing of personal brand. If whoever is there gonna watch, planning to, you shouldn't wait. You shouldn't be afraid of the mic, of the camera. People sometimes say, no, I'm not good on the camera. You can take any one of today's speakers and go to their first videos,
True.
whether Instagram, YouTube, and you see how ugly and not prepared it was. So do develop personal skills, do develop personal branding, network, don't be shy, and join the community. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. It's been a pleasure and wish you all the best. I know tomorrow you're having a speech.
Yeah.
All the best with it. I'll
Thank
be
you very
there.
much. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. God is too kind. How are you doing?
All is good, all is good. Let's start with what brings you to AIBC today?
Yeah, so I was in Mumbai. My sister is getting married, so we were looking at wedding venues.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Seif from IC Vision, he said, come to Dubai and come to this conference.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm a Christian, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't gamble, I don't mess around with gaming. So this is out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying to teach myself to be adaptable and meeting just a lot of cool people. So I'm having a good time. It's been nice. Yeah.
For our audience today,
Yeah.
if you have like a couple of seconds to tell the audience what do you do,
Yeah.
and let's make it for a 10 years old kid. So in a very simple form,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I love that. Yeah. So my name is Divij Vaswani. I'm the CEO and founder of Division Media, which is a leading influencer marketing and talent management firm in Los Angeles. I started the company in 2019, right before COVID hit, which is a very weird time in the U.S. And I just DM'd this guy Logan Paul on Instagram, and I said, hey, like I have some brand deals for you. I want to work with you. And they responded. I started doing brand deals for Logan Paul's podcast, and then I ended up signing George Janko, who is one of the biggest comedians in the world. And fast forward a couple years, we're going on tour. We're doing shows in the U.S. and globally. Launching books and merchandise and all that stuff. And so built a company around talent management. And my advice, is that the question?
No, the second one. What
Oh, okay.
inspired you to go into this direction? It's not a standard one.
Yeah.
But what inspired you to go towards talent management?
I think, it kind of just happened. I always had the entrepreneur bug. My grandpa is one of the most successful real estate developers in India, so I had the blessing of being able to, be with him as a kid and kind of see what he built from scratch. And when I went to USC in school, I was like, I could have a job making $30,000-$40,000 a year. But I was like, there's no fun in that. Like, this life is a game. You got to gamify it. Exactly. And so for me, the game was leveraging my strengths, which was being an entrepreneur, sales. And so, I've had 10 different businesses before the first one actually hit. Like the first 10 were all failures. Like I had a jewelry company. I was a real estate agent. I was doing grills, like gold teeth for celebrities.
Oh my God.
I was selling cars. Like I had all types of shit, man. And nothing stuck. But I spent that 10-year journey trying to figure out, and I was dedicated and diligent in my path. And then when I turned 23, because I started my first business when I was 13, but when I turned 23, I started Division Media, and that was the first one where we actually had success. So diligence is everything. Yeah.
You said a lot of failures. What is the most, I would say, failure that you remember and taught you a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot of failures. The one that stands out was when I was in high school. I started a party promotion company. So I was renting venues around my city in Newport Beach, California, and I was trying to throw parties. And I thought I was a cool kid in school, so I was like, people will come to my events. And I asked my dad I said, hey, I need $3,000 to $4,000 to rent the venue. Can you write me a check? And he said, sure. He wrote me a check, gave me the check. I did the event. 2 people showed up. And I was expecting there to be thousands of people. And I'm just sitting in this venue that I spent, to me, $4,000 was a lot of money. So I was like, fuck, I'm a failure. But I was like, dang, like no one came to this event. And I really had to take a second and be like, okay, put the ego down.
Exactly.
Go low. And that mindset has really, really helped me just, because ego is the biggest killer, bro.
Of course.
If I see you and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Like, how you doing? There's no bond. There's no connection.
Absolutely. You block opportunities. You block growth.
Amen.
We're now in AIBC.
Yeah.
A big topic that is absolutely killing the world, which is AI.
Yeah.
How is AI related to talent management? Is there any relation?
It's very related. Yeah. I mean, look, when it comes to talent, there's a lot of talent, right? Like I'm a talent, you're a talent, everyone's a talent. And so, especially when you're talking about brands, because if you think about where the revenue for talent is coming from, it's mostly brand deals, honestly, or brand partnerships. And the way that you sell or a manager or an agent sells the talent into the brand is very important. So like, are you just sending a spreadsheet? Are you putting a PowerPoint together?
Just a media kit, and
that doesn't stand out. So nowadays, if you can use AI from a proposal standpoint to sell the talent into the brand, you can get a lot of leverage.
True.
And the way to use AI, honestly, is for data mining, right? Getting the right analytics, because they all want to see like what's the conversion rate, what's the CPA, and the way to do that is to pull those analytics. And nowadays, you can do it fast with AI, which is very helpful. Yeah.
When you entered AIBC today, what was the thing that caught your attention?
The women.
A lot.
A lot of people. No, I'm just kidding. I have a girlfriend. I'm totally kidding. Man, honestly, I think in Dubai here, bro, everyone is so eager and hungry. Like everyone wants it.
Yeah.
And I love that energy, bro. And anytime I go to an event where there's the positive vibes, everyone's smiling. It's great. And you know, if you went to this event in LA, it'd be a lot different. People would be like, you know, like flashing their jewelry and this and that, and it's all about the fake shit. And there's no time for that, you know.
If a lot of talents watching the show,
Yeah.
and they're thinking, why do I need a talent manager? What will you tell them?
Man, you know, I represent George Janko, and if you guys know about George and what he's been able to accomplish, you know, first off, it's glory to God. That's the first thing, right? And his, you know, he was born with the talent that God gave him, and he's leveraged it to get to where he's at. And by no means am I the reason for his success, but I do think it's important, you know, for him to be able to focus on what he does, which is comedy, stand-up, impacting people. He has to study scripture and the Bible so that he can be the positive. He has to know the stuff, the knowledge. And so he doesn't want to be worrying about taking the phone calls, sending the emails, pitching the brands, putting the proposals together. There's a lot of logistics, communication, handling, all this stuff that has to be done.
True.
And so I think if you're a talent that really just wants to show up and be the talent and bring to the world what you can offer, you got to have someone behind you, behind the curtain, that's managing everything.
I love that because
You
that's
know?
actually leverage.
Yeah.
Let's make people focus on what they're strong at and leverage and delegate the other things to the professionals. I will flip it and I'll ask you, what kind of things do you look at in talents that you think that these talents have a good way to go?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people, we live in an era of zillions of influencers and talents, and everybody think from their perspective that they're strong in a way. But as a talent manager, of course, you have an eye, you have criterias.
Yeah.
What makes them stand out?
They got to want it more than you want it for them, you know? So first off, they have to be very disciplined and motivated. Not motivated, more disciplined in what they do. But you know, there's a lot of crafts, right? Like a lot of lifestyle talent, there's a lot of fashion talent. And so it kind of gets boring in my opinion. And so I think for me, it's funny, I actually said I never wanted to be a manager because I was like, I don't want the morning phone calls from the talent at 5 a.m. like, hey, where's my money? Where's my brand deal? Like, I didn't want to deal with the expectation. I wanted to just work with brands and collect the cash flow so that I can live a good life with my family. But when I saw George Janko and the 10 years of diligent work that he put in with Logan Paul and building Logan up and you know, crushing it on Vine and doing this stuff, and I saw him speaking about God on Logan Paul's podcast, but getting shut down. And he wasn't able to fully express himself. But people in the comments wanted it. They were like, George, like, speak about God, like, vocalize this stuff. And when I had the opportunity and God told me, text him and say, hey, do you have a manager? And I sent that message. And he was like, I don't. Like, you want to work together? We had dinner, and it was just this, like, natural thing that came from, it wasn't me, it was something that told me to do it, you know? And I saw where he could go, but he just needed the push. True. And so you have to, it's a natural intuition thing.
Any plans for expanding towards the Middle East? Like now we see that Dubai is on the rise, of course.
Yeah.
We see a lot of countries like Saudi Arabia, for example. Any plans for that?
Absolutely. This is the expansion right here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hanging out with you.
Exactly.
And I want to learn more about you, and hopefully, God willing, I'll have you on my podcast.
Of course.
So we can chat. But man, I just know there's a lot of opportunity here. It's my second time in Dubai, so I haven't really spent much time, but I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
So we're expanding. This is happening.
It's
you know?
happening.
Yeah.
We're in the Alpha Talks show. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a nugget question that I always ask the Alpha guest.
Yeah.
How do you define an Alpha? From your perspective, what's an Alpha means to you?
Man, you know, this is an interesting one. I'm a Leo. I don't know if you believe in signs and stuff, but you know, I got the lion and stuff. So we're natural leaders, and I think as men, we have our certain primal instincts, right? Like we gotta catch the stuff. We gotta get strong. We gotta lift weights. All this stuff, and I struggled with it for a while because I was like, you know, I don't want to be like too alpha, like, you know, like lift weight, like, you know, I didn't want to be that.
We had this question kind of before shooting. Are you similar to XYZ? And I said no. Yeah.
I didn't want to come across as that like piece of shit man. Like I want to be a man of kindness. I want to lead. Ethics, morals, values, family. So for me, it's very simple, bro. It's the 5 F's. It's faith. first and foremost. It's family, it's fitness and health, it's finances, money, health, wealth, and it's freedom. And if there's anything outside of those 5 F's, I don't want it.
I love that. I love how you put
You
it.
know?
What would be the last message you want to leave the audience with today?
Man,
Make it a killer. Make it a killer.
whether you're religious or not, I think it's important to have guidelines for how you live your life. And I think the first hour of your day is so important, bro. If you're 13 or 33 or 83, it's important to wake up and have a certain foundation for how your day is going to go. For me, it's scripture. I dive into scripture. I speak to God. I praise the Lord. I'm grateful. I drop to my knees. And I think that is just so important, bro. And if you can set your first day up with gratitude, the rest of the day is going to be so easy. But if you don't do that, if you miss that window, it might be kind of hard,
Brother, there is one thing I would love to ask.
Yeah.
A lot of people turn to being spiritual after a kind of a trauma, hardships. What about you? You've been always like this, or yeah?
It's a great question, man. That's a great question. I had this conversation last night with someone at lunch. We were saying, religion seems to be something that people rely on once they really need it because they're struggling, they're going through something. And so I found that I also, I grew up praising God and doing this stuff, but my mom got a double lung transplant, and she got surgery, God willing, or thank God she's still with us. But that's when I really started to lean into faith, was when I needed it. And what I realized was that when you rely on God, when you need Him, let me take that back. Sometimes God and spirituality and religion is the only thing that'll keep a man alive when they're going through the hardship. So my question for the men out there is, why are you not praising God when you don't need Him?
True.
You know what I mean? And so now it's like, bro, I'm in a great spot mentally, emotionally, but I still thank God every day because I know there's going to come to a time, because they say we're all one phone call away from being on our knees. You know what I mean? And so, man, I praise God every day, bro. I don't care if I need Him or I don't. Because you know what I mean? Because I know how bad it can get.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. This is so fun.
I appreciate it. All the best.
Thank you.
And I wish to see you much more often in Dubai.
God bless, brother. And thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, brother, to the Alpha Talk Show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Let me ask you the first question to introduce you to my audience. If I'm gonna ask you to say something about yourself for a 10 years old, what are you gonna say?
Well, firstly, I started off my first business when I was 12 years old. So I can relate to a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But if you really want to be successful in life, you clearly need to know that you want to be successful. In no matter what industry, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, you just need to know you're going to be successful and you're willing to do any and everything to be successful.
To make it
For
happen.
sure.
What kind of businesses are you in?
Very diverse today. So
Let me start with starting off.
yes.
You started off with what kind of business?
Initially, I was in retail sales. I would buy something and I'd sell it and just see a little bit of profit. Very small margin, but I learned the skill set of sales. At 17 years old, I was selling chocolate fudge in school, distributing it to all the different grades, and they were selling it for me. Making $200 a month, but coming from Africa, you could relate. $200 is a lot of money.
Of course.
And then 18 years old, got involved in direct sales, which is leadership and sales and networking. And that's really the three skill sets to be successful in any business, any industry.
True.
And then I diversified after building that business to 1 million customers. And today I own 22 different companies in every different sector with more than a few hundred staff members.
Lovely. What brings you to Dubai?
Well, firstly, I live in Dubai now. I've been visiting Dubai since 2012, once a month, and I officially moved here in January. But, going one step behind, this is the capital of networking.
True.
This is the capital of, if you want to meet someone, if you want to make it in life, it is in this vicinity right here.
You came to AIBC. Is it the first time to visit AIBC or?
Yes, this specific event, first time, but I've attended many different conferences out here.
What brings you to AIBC?
Well, firstly, the networking. There's a clear saying that who you network with is really what you become. If you have 9 broke friends, there's one guarantee.
100%.
You're number 10.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have 9 wealthy friends, there's a good possibility of you being number 10.
True.
I'm here to simply network, connect, and see where the synergy aligns.
I love that. What is the thing that you saw today in AIBC, the summit, that really caught your attention?
Well, it's grit. Everyone's
Yeah.
hungry. Everyone clearly knows that this is the place to make it, and they want to meet people, connect, and see where there might be synergy and move forward. And that's why I'm here. I want to expand the network. There's never too many people that you can connect with.
I'd love that. Part of your business is connected to AI.
For sure.
Does AI, you fear AI or?
I don't fear it because you either adapt and adjust or you get left behind. And a good friend of mine, Vishen Lakiani, who owns Mind Valley, said by the year 2030, 2035, we shall be working 1 hour a week.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, this is an industry that is really moving faster than we can imagine. So how is someone going to adapt with AI rather than being threatened by AI? My businesses are starting to adapt and run on AI.
If I ask you, you have a button, and then you can just click this button, press it, and AI will disappear from the whole world. Would you do that?
No.
Absolutely
Why?
not.
It's not a threat. I mean, this is what 20 years ago people were talking about social media
True.
as a threat. And once again, back in the early 1990s was cell phones as a threat. So this is where the world is moving. Adapt with it. Leaders adjust and adapt. They don't go against the
Of
trend.
course. I love that. If AI is a human, what kind of fear AI will have? Because we live in an era now, there are a lot of people like they fear AI, that they're going to take over, like the robots and. But let's switch a little bit. Like if AI now, a robot, have 100% the feelings that humans have, what kind of fear do we have?
Well, firstly, 98% of people are scared already of this world.
True.
They're scared of ChatGPT. They're scared of the innovation of AI, where you can go on today. There's sites where you can create a website in a click of a finger. 1
true.
minute, it's done. I mean, artists today don't have to write their songs.
Exactly.
So it's not about fearing AI. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's really false.
True.
It's the illusion in your mind that you believe it's going to replace you. It is going to
True.
replace you, but what if your business integrates with AI? So I wouldn't really say to people, be scared of AI. I would say sit back, embrace it, adjust with it, figure out how you can monetize it. Because that's really the lane that you want to go. Being scared of it, I mean, you can fear a lion, but if the lion is in front of you and the lion fears you more,
True.
then you can actually, I know friends who play with lions.
Yeah.
So it's just really an illusion on how you take it.
I was reading an article back, like a couple of days back. We were saying that we were gonna, like in the next couple of years, we're gonna have our leadership team or our executives an absolute AI, like agents. How do you see this going?
It's going to happen. I mean, right now we see crypto. Just a few weeks ago, there was a trend on AI agents. And you got AI XPT, you got all of these different agents. 99% of them aren't legit. They aren't going to make it. People have literally seen that trend and they're monetizing it as fast as possible. But an agent is out there today. How can it work for you? Think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, slowly you can integrate it in your business, and eventually you will have someone watching over it and be able to help your business integrate. I mean, we're in the media space.
True.
How can AI benefit us? How can AI
course.
work with us? And that's how we were speaking offline. I stopped my podcast back in 2019 because of the time it was taking me to actually prepare
Hell,
for the
true.
podcast. Today's world, I prepare my whole podcast on AI
Right
if
away.
I want to.
True,
That's
true.
the innovation of how we can actually move forward with it.
People watching us today, if you want to tell them like the 3 line of businesses that you're focusing on these days, what's going to be these
Well,
businesses?
number one, definitely my reputation management, my branding, my marketing industry. The second one is an asset management company. Everyone out there just doesn't know how to invest their capital because there's really 3 problems in life. Making money, multiplying money, and saving
True.
money. That's really the 3 problems
Yeah.
that people don't know how to clearly win big at. So that's my second business. My third business is an online educational company under the sector of crypto, forex, and e-commerce, digital assets, pretty much everything to monetize via your phone, your
I
smartphone.
love that. You're still young, you're successful. A lot of people watching us will be asking, okay, how did you make it happen? What are the success traits that you have or you developed that you contribute this, like, okay, these are the success traits that I have?
Well, firstly, personal development, self-growth. I started off when I was 8 years old. This is 23 years ago. I'm 31 right now. I was introduced to a book, an audio, a seminar, a mentor, and I worked on my mind. The great Tony Robbins says 80% of life is psychological, 20% is the mechanics. I worked on me, the internal sector, before you see the external.
Yeah.
And that's really shaping up who I am today. Because when you go through rejection, this prepares you for
course.
the rejection. When you go through success, it prepares you for really an uphill trajectory.
True.
So that's the number one trait that I really have that money can't buy, because it's really time, studying the books over a period of
True.
time. The second one is the work ethic. I have a saying, work like you're broke. You really got to work like you're broke, even when you have a little bit of success. Train your mind to believe that what you
Hungry.
have,
You said here everybody's
for
hungry.
sure.
Correct.
Train your mind to believe that what you have is not really everything out there. Come to Dubai, you'll feel broke.
Exactly.
I mean,
True.
it's going to humble you.
Exactly.
You're the 1% of the world in Dubai, but you're the bottom of
exactly.
the
You're right.
high-end world. And then at the same time, after work ethic, you really need to be able to stay in student mode. Understand that the top is not the pinnacle, and there's so many people you can learn from. That's why I created a tagline, The Millionaire Student. Remain in student mode before you become a millionaire.
Of course.
When you become a millionaire, stay in student mode to maintain and sustain millionaire status.
I love that. Since we're in the Alpha Talk show, I have a nugget question that I ask all
Sure.
my alpha guests. How do you define an alpha? What's an
Well,
alpha
it's
for you?
someone that's willing to go against the grain, someone that's willing, and when people hear the word alpha, they think gym, they think
Yeah,
strong,
true.
mentally strong.
Yeah. Of course.
Work ethic that's second to none, cut from a different cloth, willing to go against the grain, go against the average person out there, be willing to be hated, but also be willing to actually question the normality, the normal route of life.
I love that. What would be the last message you want to leave, I would say, the young audience with?
Well, firstly, you're at a perfect time in life. You have everything working with you, but you might find every single reason to not build whatever you're building. You want to validate yourself that you're not going to succeed. Let's switch it around. Let's be able to think why it's the time to build a business, why it's time to be an entrepreneur. I mean, if you're looking for a mentor, here's a mentor, www.youtube.com. There's
absolutely.
unlimited
For
amount of
everyone.
content from there. Go start studying.
There are a lot of talks about how to build the next big thing. Okay, there are a lot of people that copying business models, and there are people that says, okay, I want to start to build something big, but how to something that stands out, but how to start from there?
Well, firstly, go create a website. That's the first step. Don't worry about having an idea.
Yeah.
Just create the website. Don't even worry about registering the business. 99% of people who start businesses don't succeed in businesses.
Absolutely.
Just create the website, create a social media page, and start promoting it. If people don't like it, it only costed you $100, $200, $300. And if you're
Nice.
smart enough, you used AI to create the website.
True.
Okay, it costed you time. Keep creating websites with ideas and see what people
Clicks.
react to it
What
as.
clicks?
And eventually, if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, so what?
Pivot next.
100%.
Brother, it's a pleasure and it's an honor, and I'm sure that everybody watched this short kind of episode will get a lot of information from it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Welcome, brother, to the Alpha Talk show. How are you today?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm great. I'm great. Yourself?
All is good. Let's start with, if you're going to explain your line of business to a 10 years old person, what you're going to say?
Well, I'm effectively co-owner of casino.
Okay.
That casino lives on Web3, fully decentralized. And I came to Sigma to meet potential partners and people who would like to replicate what I'm effectively doing, staking my coins and being a, if you want, shareholder of the casino.
Lovely. What is the first thing that caught your eyes when you came to Sigma this year, Sigma or AIBC Eurasia?
I've been coming for Sigma for more than 10 years.
I believe so.
I was in Barcelona, in London.
True.
It's very professional, professionally held even.
Yeah.
You can see all the operators coming, so you can effectively meet with everyone who means something in business, in gaming industry. And you can see over the years the shift goes to decentralization and crypto. So always new opportunities comes up. That's why people are coming to such events to meet, even with individuals like you.
No, of course, of course. For how long you've been in this business, if I put it in years? How long?
It was pretty much more than 15 years.
15 years. For a person starting in that kind of route or direction, what kind of success factors or characteristics or traits a business should have, a person should have to succeed in such industry?
Talking about casino business,
Yeah.
we are in a thin ice a little
True.
bit. However, fairness of the game, compliance, if you want, restricting players who are not playing for fun anymore. They can lose the money they can afford to
Exactly.
lose. So this is probably a measurement of success when you treating your players, when you already make your money as a casino
Of course.
operator, but then you obviously making sure that your product is not harming anybody.
Is there any kind of regulations that's stopping you or preventing your growth further, or from a regulation standpoint?
Well, because I've been in industry quite some time.
You passed through a lot.
If I now I will contradict myself, because if you are a casino owner, effectively you want people to play and you make money as much as money as you can, right?
True.
But obviously there has been shift on preventative measures to make it healthy.
Of course.
So obviously that impacts all aspects of the industry. But I would say that this is the shift. And obviously when it comes to regulation in UAE, we will see how it's going to play out,
Of course, yeah.
because it's a huge market. Value of the player will be enormous. So everybody is waiting what the local regulator will announce and which companies are going to be the first to come in the market.
Absolutely. For new entrants to this market, especially in the Middle East, what kind of advice would you give them? And new entrants, like a lot of people, a lot of young entrepreneurs see that, okay, the casinos, like flash of money. Okay, so they can be running after that. What are the things that you would like to advise them before jumping into this kind of industry?
Well, I'm going to turn it to our product at the moment, which basically every individual can become effectively casino co-owner, because if you want to go standard way, you need to go and ask for license, you need to establish your company, goes through all the paperwork, permissions and fees, and then you are allowed to build your casino and start pushing your brand. Our product at Betfin effectively allowing everyone who staked the coins became co-owner of the casino just with your Polygon wallet. We don't ask you what's your name, we don't ask you how old you are, you must be 18 plus, if you are a man or woman, everybody can start a business with a Polygon wallet without going through compliance, the licensing process, etc.
Because you already passed through all this.
And also because that's the beauty of DeFi, decentralized finance. At the moment we have over, I think, 17,000 members who stake their coins. This is 17,000 individual casino owners. They are around the world.
True.
So this is a unique and shift to decentralized gaming, if you want to.
Absolutely. What will be the last message you want to leave the audience with today, being part of AIBC and Eurasia this year, and being part of your industry? What will be the message?
Well, I think there's definitely opportunity from affiliate point of view in UAE. So you can start building websites. You can start, preparing your traffic to be sent for the first casino that's going to open, because this is going to be a race for the main wave of the players.
True.
So I would focus on affiliate side of, because you don't need any license, anything. If you're sending right traffic, the revenue shares are still quite juicy, or CPA, especially here in UAE. If you get really good hire of the player,
Of course.
the payouts could be
100%.
fantastic. So
Brother, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Nice
Wish
to
you
meet
all
you.
the best, and I'll leave you to enjoy the
thank
summit.
you. Thank you, man. Thanks a lot.
That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha and left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Remember, alphas aren't born, they're made. It isn't about dominating others, it's about embracing your authenticity, leading with integrity, and making a positive impact on the world. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Alpha Talks on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review and share the podcast with your fellow alphas. Also connect with us on social media at Seif Hakim. Share your thoughts, insight, and stories of personal and business growth with us. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.